Hi guys, so I just want to do a recap on some of the things that we learned from Mark Williams-Thomas yesterday during the kind of newspaper kind of appeal with the media that he did by himself from Tenerife. Now, first of all, he made it very clear that the police from Tenerife, the Spanish police, do not want him there. They do not want him there. They're not happy with him being there. And they do not want any help from the Lancashire police, who are still open today to going out there and help to find out what happened to Jay. He also says that the very vital information he's looking for come from two men who Jay was last seen going with. He says one of them he knows by their nickname and he has a photo of one of them. And if they do not come forward to speak to him, he is willing to release that information to the media in order to force them to come forward. He said the two men in question were seen on the strip with Jay and his friends, over the last 2 days before Jay went missing, drinking. The two men chose to drink Hennessy. One was friendly and quite chatty and the other one was quite stoic and quiet. He also said the two men are not to have believed to have attended the Energy Festival along with Jay and his friends, but for some reason came along afterwards and Jay got into a vehicle with them. And Mark's main questions is why? Why take Jay so far away from where the main town was? Why did Jay go with them? And why, after the festival, were they even there in the first place? But he desperately wants to speak to them. Mark also said that he has spoke to a lot of people who are close to the case, some of the last people who obviously are known to have spoke to Jay or be with him, and not all of the information he's got has been truthful. One of the things Mark said, which obviously I've said over and over again before now, is that the Spanish police have not investigated this case correctly from the beginning, that it should have been investigated as a crime or a major incident, meaning that they would have taped off the Airbnb and kept that for a forensic evidence. They also would have cordoned off the last area where the phone ping came from. So that's really, really concerning that hasn't been done. And those places like the B&B have been released obviously to the people who own it, although it was probably never in police custody to begin with. We know they say they've done a cursory search of that place, i.e. just looked around. But in my opinion, Jay was never at that Airbnb. Mark is obviously spending a lot of time with Jay's family. He says they've given him loads of information about Jay as a person and about the last days of his stay in Tenerife before he disappeared. And I believe that Mark is getting very close to finding some answers. He talks about the drug underworld being in Tenerife, how easy it is for kids to get drugs wherever they go there, and how there is a real fraternity of people out there who are part of this world who may have some more information about what happened to Jay. I think questions have to be asked of why Tenerife police do not want to involve outside agencies or free help coming out to assist them. To have Mark out there is a dream for so many different investigations, and Jay's family have asked him to come out and work alongside the Spanish police. So the fact that they're trying to keep him on the outside, leads to questions about corruption and information they're trying to keep hidden from other investigators. Also, you're day 11 into a search now for Jay. You still haven't found him. You have no idea where he last was or who was last with him or whether he's had an accidental fall or he's been murdered. And yet you're shutting out outside help, which to me just is so bizarre. You're literally at a place where you have nowhere else left to go. I believe Mark does think this is a criminal investigation. He is definitely treating it as if it's one. And obviously the things that he's mentioned and the people he needs to speak to would lead you to believe that he believes there are answers to be found and it's not just a simple accident. I think he is of a similar thinking to me, that Jay's friends are lying and they have something to hide.